Okay, I think this part we've seen before.
Handler Walter verified. Activating cerebral coral control device.
It is great. It's a great line. I think because it's a live feed, maybe the quality's kind of so-so.
Augmented human C4621 has awakened.
Ah, the music is so good. It's so epic. Okay. I mean, it still looks like it's so much fun. So good. But I think a lot of this is kind of stuff that we've seen already. Maybe not that. Oh, it is so smooth. It's so cool.
One of the infamous handler Walter's hounds. Interesting.
Okay.
You ready to climb the wall?
Brilliantly done.
Priority subject for termination. High on the list.
A coral response from the generator. Watch out.
Definitely remember that.
Behind another's call sign.
Why hide behind another's call sign? Okay.
Let's see how far they can fly. On borrowed wings.
The writing so far for the game has been incredible. There have been a couple of one-liners that have been so good.
Welcome to the Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon showcase. Today we'll be sharing an in-depth look at the features of Armored Core 6, live gameplay from some very special guests, and our first ever live showcase of the game's exhilarating PvP mode. In the studio, we
well
have
done.
Oroboros, FightinCowboy, and the staff of Armored Core Legacy. We will be joined remotely by Vaati, and off-stream we have Zentrea, who will be streaming during today's program. Before we dive in, let's take a look at our schedule for today to see what's in store. To set the stage, we'll begin with discussion around the story of Armored Core with Vaati. Next, we'll undergo some training with some experienced Armored Core pilots.
Match made in heaven.
We'll enter the combat zone with our first look at PvP before hearing everyone's final impressions. We hope you'll stay with us and enjoy the show.
Bless her. I love her look. It's cool. The fashion. Oh!
Hello and welcome, Vaati. We all know you are a FromSoft expert. How do you think Armored Core 6
I've never seen his face.
to From Software fans, old and new?
Yeah. First off, thank you for having me. I hope the event goes well. I saw you have some PvP coming up, so I'm really excited for that. But
Wow.
in terms of how it appeals to old fans, I guess
I've
there
just
hasn't
never
really
seen
been
his
a
face.
new Armored Core game for 10 years now. So
Yeah.
I think old fans are in for big changes to the combat, and obviously the graphical fidelity of the game is much better. From Software have obviously learned a lot in the last 10 years. But I think old fans in particular will be drawn to the assembly aspect more than anything else, because even in this game, you can still fundamentally change your mech on such a core level, and they'll probably recognize a lot of the specs involved as well.
Okay.
And I think they'll sort of have a leg up on the competition in that regard. But I hope new fans give it a chance, even though it can be a little bit
Overwhelming.
It's obviously very different from something like Elden Ring, but it still feels like a From Software game, you know? You know it's going to be challenging, but you know it's going to be a game that respects your time and effort and gives you the tools you need to succeed. So, yeah, I think a lot of people will be keen to try this game just on the reputation of From Software alone. And I hope they do.
Yes, which is why I'm interested
I
in
love
playing
that
it.
answer. I mean, I'm really excited about it. All of that sounds very exciting for me. From both the new and returning fans of the series, the announcement trailer was certainly a surprise at the Game Awards. So let's take another look.
That man could not speak poorly if he tried. Always incredibly articulate. So well done. And I had heard that the customization was going to be quite daunting, which is why I had a feeling he was going to say overwhelming. And it is something that I am a little daunted by going into the game, because it's probably going to be quite complex, but it's part of the fun. You want to get involved, you want to make sure you're building out your mech to correctly combat whatever challenge. So because again, for anyone who's tuning in and watching this, I have never played an Armored Core game at all. This is my first experience interaction with the franchise. I played Elden Ring, I loved it. Finished Dark Souls 1 by the time of filming this, loved that. So I'm wanting to give this a try since it's from FromSoft, but I know it's quite a different game. But I have a feeling a lot of eyeballs will be on this game because of the success of Elden Ring. It's going to bring in a lot of people that maybe would not have wanted to try this before. So beautiful cinematic, well done. So this will be my second time watching this, I think. I'm hoping to get a better understanding of the story. Because at first I was just a bit overwhelmed about what was going on. Again, not experienced with the franchise. It looks incredible. I mean, just phenomenally well done. And you know what, honestly, props to them, considering the type of world that it's set in. They still have moments of like great color in there. So you're still getting some good contrast. It doesn't look muddy, I think, where it could really easily look muddy. It is so cool. Beautifully, beautifully done.
Wow, From Software always does such an amazing job establishing the tone of each world they create. What do you think about this trailer? Did you notice anything that viewers didn't catch?
Probably.
Well, I doubt I noticed anything that, you know, the internet at large didn't really notice. But a lot of stuff in that trailer definitely is more recognizable now, for sure. You can see a lot of bosses from the early parts of the game. I think there's the Juggernaut, Voltaeus, and also the big helicopter boss from Mission 1. But the most interesting thing, I think, in that trailer is the AC that's fighting during it. Oh, no, that's a different trailer, actually, I think. No, this is the trailer. There's an AC that's fighting in that trailer, and I think its name is Nightfall, and I think it might also be the main character of that trailer, and the main character on the box art as well. And I don't want to spoil it too much, but I'm pretty sure you can see that character in Mission 1 as well. So people should probably look out for that. And yeah, it's cool to look back and notice all these little things.
That sounds really exciting because all of that insight, I'm sure people are going to go back and rewatch the trailer because of what you said right now, Vaati. I love that. Just about a month ago, we revealed the story trailer, and we noticed you commented, FromSoft is really going to make us cry about robots, aren't they?
Probably.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone missed it, let's take another look.
FromSoft know how to make some depressing games, man. There ain't a happy ending in sight. Not a single one. It's gonna be the same thing again. Oh, this was hard to watch.
Craving company here.
Because of the human, not because it was bad, sorry, to be clear.
So what happened to 617 and the others? Fill me in, Handler Walter.
Okay. Like this.
At least you're helping me clear my inventory.
Okay. So 617 and the others. 619 down. It goes up to 620 at least. So that's 4 of them at least.
This one is functional, but don't expect much more.
I'm not here to talk. Wake it up.
Yeah, okay. So definitely at least 4 of them. That was a beautiful transition then.
Updating target parameters. Phase 3, pattern E.
It's this bit that I hate. Oh, and the sound and everything. I can't bear it.
Reporting to Handler Walter. Mission complete.
621.
Okay.
I'll give you a reason to exist. Let's get to work.
Okay. So it seems that this character is 621, and I assume 617 to 620 are lost.
Vaati, you are very knowledgeable about this series. What are some final thoughts you have on Armored Core 6?
So I think I'm just really glad that Armored Core 6 encouraged me to play all of the older games, because it made me realize I'm just so into this. I'm so into this process of sort of fine-tuning your mech to be perfectly suited for the missions, and I love the bleak world, and there's just this really distinct vibe that Armored Core has that I really hope new fans can come in and discover, because I think a lot of the old fans have been talking about this stuff for a while, so it'll be exciting to see people sort of break into a new genre almost.
So I'm going to try and
so
do
I
at
hope
least.
Armored Core 6 does well, because even just because I want the genre to do well now, like I'd love to see more mech games that let you customize your mech on a deeper level, and From Software seem like they're sort of the kings of this genre from what I've seen, so I think Armored Core 6 could really give a boost to that whole scene.
This is so random, but does anyone
I feel like
know?
the whole time you were talking, Vaati, I totally agree, especially with your enthusiasm. It sucked in a lot of my community, so we're big fans of your videos and keep doing what we do, because thank you so much, Vaati, for joining us and sharing your insights about the world
Does
of
anyone know
Armored
what's on his
Core.
desktop background?
Sure, thank you so much.
The
Thank you,
white
Zia.
with whatever that is. I don't recognize it. I don't know if it's... I feel he's intentionally put it there. It's not clear to me why. I would love to hear in the comments if you know what it is. Because I don't think it's a mistake. I just don't guess it. I'm not sure if maybe an Armored Core fan would guess it. So, not that it's important, but...
For our pilot onboarding, I am joined by the experienced Armored Core pilots, Oroboros and FightinCowboy. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Oh man, it's an honor for me to be with you guys.
So I've only played Elden
Ring. What
Ring
have been some of your impressions so
and Dark Souls 1 right now.
The game.
It's perfect. It's the.
But I feel like
FromSoft's done it
FightingCowboy's
again.
shirt is a
Armored Core
reference to
fans are gonna
something
feel
that I
right
don't
at
know.
home. It's so good.
Yeah, I think a lot of the things people are going to notice is that it still feels fresh, but it's very familiar. The level of customization and testing out different leg types and different weapons, and it's very visceral and heavy still, which I think is a big thing that kind of sets Armored Core apart from a lot of other, mech games. It's fast, but I don't know, it feels good. It's very visceral.
I like that you said heavy. It feels heavy.
Yeah.
Like you can really feel like you're doing some damage in them, right?
Yeah.
So that's really awesome. Today we'll be doing more than just sharing impressions. Let's get into some gameplay. Yeah?
Let's go.
Okay, I wish I knew
While
what his shirt was
FightingCowboy gets set
referencing.
up, Oroboros, what would you say are some key strategies that viewers should keep an eye out while playing, Armored Core?
Okay, so the main thing is the mech customization.
Right.
Changing out your parts, your AC, your build, and the biggest thing is the legs. The legs
legs.
change
Okay.
your gameplay entirely. When you switch your legs, it feels like you're playing an entirely different game.
Okay.
It's
I guess because of the movement style.
There's a couple different types of legs. Bipedal are like the standard mech legs that let you move super quick. There's reverse joints, which are really cool. You can jump in the air super high. Quads, or tetrapods they call them in this game, allow you to hover now in the air.
Ooh.
And you can actually rain down like fire
Oh, I
upon your
love
foes.
that.
It's awesome. It's so good. And then there's tanks, which of course are just beefy monstrosities. You can't even touch them. They're super tanky, super powerful. Cowboy's a big fan of those.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see, FightingCowboy. So let's head over and check him out.
Oh, well, what's happening, y'all? My name is FightinCowboy. Welcome
Bless
to
him.
Armored Core 6, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of the first missions of Chapter 2, Infiltrate Grid 086. So we're going to go over the assembly I'm running with for this mission briefly. We are working with a pretty well-balanced
Lots
AC
going
here.
on.
We have the Curtis. This is a linear rifle, so it can be charged to do some extra damage. This gives us a little bit of range for targets that are a little farther out. Bringing a Gatling gun, this just gives me being able to take down multiple weaker targets, a lot of good stagger buildup, so it's very consistent. We have a missile launcher on the back, 10 cell. This is going to be capable of multi-lock, and it's a forward-facing missile, so it's pretty consistent to hit targets with. And then we are pulling out the pile bunker. I know a weapon a lot of people have been waiting to see. This thing it hits like a truck. You can charge and do some massive damage with this. Out of the various melee weapons, this has definitely become one of my favorites. Besides that, we're running a pretty balanced loadout here in terms of parts. We are running quad legs, so you'll get to see some quad legs gameplay. Really nice archetype here because we're able to just kind of hover up in the air, hang above enemies with stuff like the charge shot on the linear rifle. We don't have kickback from that while we're in hover, so that's very nice. And then we have a FCS that is set up for a little bit of missile as well as medium range. And of course we can dive in and we can see that this is basically 130 to 260. So I have a good meter range on enemies.
It's
We're gonna be also
definitely
working
a
with
lot.
assault armor, so
It's
you'll see
definitely
that,
a lot.
but Otherwise, let's jump in and sort you.
Which I'm sure
I'm gonna
once
be
you guess
skipping the
it,
dialogue here, don't want to spoil the
It's
intros and
amazing.
whatnot. There's actually a pretty rich story here, but that's definitely something I want to let y'all discover on your own.
cool. I can feel where it'd be potentially overwhelming. You got to really
You
take
may
your time at
notice
the
this is
beginning,
same mission
learn.
that they initially showed off with the very first gameplay reveal we got.
I've sent you the marker data. Let's head toward the elevator going to the upper level.
Ooh. Oh. Okay, sorry. Whereas like I thought he was gonna like drop. I've fallen too many times in like Elden Ring or Dark Souls. I got a little bit nervous to him. You died, flash across the screen, despair ensues. But it looks amazing. I mean, it looks like it's very smooth, and yet I'm sure when you play it, you feel like the weight of your mech, which I think is a really important but like difficult thing to kind of grasp, where it doesn't feel like it's so heavy and slow that you're like struggling to use it effectively. It's not frustrating, it's still fun, but at the same time you don't want to feel weightless. You want to make sure you're feeling grounded in like the world that you're playing in, which seems like that's what they're all both hinting at when they were talking about it. But again, it's kind of hard to I'm only watching this. I'm not playing it,
So yeah, a
right? So I
couple
can't
more
say for
enemies on
myself.
the radar, if you look at the bottom of the screen there, looks like they may be down below. So we're gonna scan.
Gosh, it's a lot. I mean, it's awesome. It's amazing. It's just a lot to have to like.
A couple enemies left, but they're down to where they're not gonna be a problem. We can take them out real fast. We use the charged linear rifle shots. You can kind of see the multi-missiles going in. Definitely something that I've been filling up for this. The missile locks are incredibly satisfying.
Okay.
So right back here, you can see I have a little thing popping up that says Ricochet. We basically have a effective range on a lot of our weapons. And so if that Ricochet text is showing up, that means you need to be closer to the target to really get the damage that you want to get in.
Okay. I think that's going to be the other trick to this, is making sure that you're taking in the full, like all of the information on the screen. Sometimes, I don't know if anyone else is guilty of this, but I can tend to like tunnel vision and not take in like all of the information that's available to me.
Try to hit me with the chainsaw there. You're gonna try and get off a full hit with the pile bunker, just so y'all can see exactly what it does.
Incredible.
It's so hard. I love
Yeah,
that.
I guess.
Hostile AC destroyed.
And here the level really opens up.
Cinder
So we
Collar.
can go over there, work our way. There's a whole bridge we could take here. There's some stuff back there. But we're gonna end up doing, there's some MTs we can get first. So let's head on up there, see if we can.
And we are
get up on
Raven.
them from behind.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna try and, so you can see they're unaware right now. Let's see if I can get all the way up and get a pile bunker on them while they're unaware. Oh, not quite. Missing that one MT. There he is. Kind of
NT.
tucked away back there. Ooh, just barely missing that.
Also, I'm sorry about the quality of the feed. It's set to HD, but because it's a live feed, I assume that's why it's pixelated some.
We got him down. So definitely looking a little bit rough. We've gone through a lot of enemies so far. AP is pretty low. But we're going to still cruise along and take out whatever we can.
I assume AP is like your health bar. I don't know what AP stands for. Again, this will be my first Armored Core game.
Nope.
And
not
I've
what I
just
wanted
been
to do.
watching the gameplay reveal trailer and like the lore trailer, the story trailer, so I'm still learning. Huh. And I wonder how many of these enemy types of like players would be familiar with from previous installments. How much of this is new to this to this
A couple
game?
little spins here. All right, gate is open. Let's head on up. Now that we're in close encounters, we got to be extra careful. The last thing we want to do is get popped off by a big explosive or something.
Clever.
Going up, we're going to scan the environment. You can see this guy will take him out fast. I can see another one hiding right here under the grate. That good old FromSoft trickery.
Yes.
No! Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Almost got me with his little dagger. This is now a survival run at 365 AP.
Honestly, all the like respect in the world to him for doing this live like this.
See a chest down there, but I'll leave y'all to discover that stuff on your own.
Well played. No loot goblin in here. Risk dying because of it. No. And the lock-on does seem quite, I don't know if forgiving is necessarily the right word. There was a period of
Gat is
time...
officially out of ammo, but that gives me a chance to show off some punching.
Bless him. Okay, so you have to manage your ammo as well.
Sneaking around here.
When
so
I had
yeah,
learnt
right,
this was
so
an
there
FPS type game.
Over here. Swing back around.
I wasn't sure. I normally play FPS games on a mouse and keyboard, so I was like, oh, I'll play this mouse and keyboard. But everyone was like, no, you want to play this controller. And watching him play, I could see why that's probably the case. Because again, the lock-on, you're not having to do too... It's not so aim-intensive, it seems. Go!
Oh, no, from behind us, an ambush.
He did so well, though. He did so
when
well.
you die in Armored Core, you're able to restart the whole mission or restart from a checkpoint. We're going to go ahead and restart from a recent checkpoint. And this is, of course, going to give us back all of our ammunition. We'll be at full AP. We'll get all of our heals back. So it's definitely a game where if you fall, you're supposed to get back up and try again.
Instead of wallow in despair in Dark Souls 1 or what have you. Again, I just finished my first playthrough of that, so it's like top of mind right now. I know that they're not similar.
So this is a fun little encounter. We can see a couple of environmentals up top. We're going to go ahead and take those out and even the odds.
Tread carefully.
Oh, you noticed the fireworks I left for you. You're a smart cookie, aren't you?
Such a good animation. Even better.
Let's go back and take down those other ACs that ambushed us last time.
I surrender. Just not worth the losses. Come on, I'll let you finish. Up along now.
You can see they were guarding a little chest.
God, good on you for recognizing that as a chest.
3,000 records.
Like, obviously I knew it wasn't going to be like
and that's one of the really fun
chest
things about
shaped,
this
but
is, similar to some older entries in the franchise, we're able to find chests in certain levels that will give us parts we can collect. Just unique things that you can't buy in the shop, which is really cool. So coming up on the door, we have a boss, and right before that, we would have a supply Sherpa, which right here, if you made it this far, you can go ahead and supply. You'll get all of your health back, all of your ammo.
Oh,
and
he
you're
was
ready to go
so
on the boss and do
close.
fresh.
He was so
But
close.
Here we are actually going to wrap things up and pass it on to my good friend Oroboros to try and tackle the boss.
Ah, nicely done. Okay, cool.
Oh man, FightinCowboy demonstrated his amazing maneuverability in his AC. I was smiling the whole time. I kind of wanted him to keep going, and I love that he demonstrated like how much you can use that 360 view. Oh, he's here. Welcome back, Fighting Cowboy. I saw
be
you
back.
smiling the whole time. I smiled.
Gosh,
when you
he is
smiled,
so
actually.
tall.
It's fun. It's hard to not smile while you're playing
I
this.
can't. I mean, I can't wait to play because that was fun to watch. What tips do you have for players who might not be used to this 360-degree movement?
So I think a big thing with Armored Core is your leg types move very differently. Your reverse joints give you a lot of vertical mobility. Your tetrapods, as you saw, is able to hover in place. The tank might not have mobility, but it's a lot beefier. So I think a big thing with this game is just trying out different parts and finding what works. And one of the things that's really nice is, as opposed to like, you know, respecing in other games, you just buy the parts. So, you know, in that example where I died, if I had gone to assembly, I could have traded out for tank treads and made my character a lot stronger with more defense and then jumped right back in. So it's really about kind of mixing and matching and just...
That is too much fun. That is too much fun. That aspect to me is just... the possibility is endless.
Yeah, it really is. There's a lot you can do with it.
I guess then
And
you're
you can
continuously
like,
kind of changing your build based
how
off
many,
of the
you know,
challenge
ACs
ahead.
Do you have like in your arsenal?
Personally, I have like 14 already.
14. Oh man!
But we haven't gotten into like the meme ACs yet. We're making the fun ones right now.
So, like the decals, I know that there's decals there.
Yeah, there's full decal colors, different camos. You can,
which is also important to me.
From Gundam or Evangelion,
is
go
the
ahead.
customization
you want
option.
to make the edgiest, darkest AC? Go ahead. The pinkest,
Fashion,
brightest
Souls,
AC? Go ahead. That's the beauty
Elden
of this game.
Bling.
The cool thing is like, you know, they have model kits too.
Core.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's like some people can emulate their model kits from, you know, Armored Core and bring it to this game. But you know, I pretty much have a question for you. You know, I really want to ask you, what is your favorite legs in the? I really want to know because we keep talking about the legs. What's your favorite?
So lately I've been playing a lot of tetrapods, but I'm a beefy boy at heart, so it's got to be tanks.
I love that.
It's got to be the tank.
Thank you so much, Fighting Cowboy.
Forever
that was
on
awesome.
brand. Well done.
Hopefully our viewers can try out some of those tips at launch. All right, next up, take a look over at Oroboros as he picks up at the start of a boss fight with the Smart Cleaner.
Sorry, my eye is like weeping. I don't know why.
All right, so we're gonna pick off right where Cowboy left us off.
Armored Core just makes me so
right before
emotional.
the Smart Cleaner boss fight, which I'll be going over in just a second. I just want to say Cowboy did an amazing job. I was on the edge of my seat watching him with 300 AP left. But here we are. I'm gonna go into the boss fight and sort of, you know, show you guys what you can expect from Armored Core 6 here.
Okay. This is probably the part of Armored Core I'm most excited for.
With sort of your default missiles and some linear rifles, dual linear rifles.
Frankly, because I'm terrible at mob management.
I can swap to and go in and try to hit him.
Ooh.
But we'll soon discover that staying close to him is a terrible strategy, as he does a lot of close range damage. You do not want to be close to him ever.
Bless him, he's stuck there, isn't he?
His stagger
Looks
gauge is really
amazing.
low, but we're almost dead here. But we got that stagger. We'll go in for the melee hit. Try our best here. And he got us. But we're gonna change the build to adapt to the situation. So I've discovered that there's another lock-on point on top of him there. And I'm thinking that might be another weak spot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go
I
to
do
assembly.
love this
After
aspect
you die, you can go
of
to
Armored
assembly
Core.
and you can change your mech entirely. So
Where you're
we're
not
gonna
locked
switch
into a
to
certain
the
build type,
quadrupeds,
certain play style.
and change our build just a little bit here and try to adapt to the situation, which is important in Armored Core. Of course, the developer said you can go in with any mech you like. You can play the entire game.
Which
but
I also like.
Adapting and changing your build on the fly is a huge aspect of this game. We're also going to equip terminal armor, which just in case we die, it actually saves us. So we'll equip that in the expansion slot. So now we've completely changed our mech. We've
Like a
equipped
respawn?
2 songbirds, which are grenade cannons, which, as you can see, does a lot of damage here. It's going to be pretty good, I think, for the boss. So let's go back in with our revised mech and see how we do. A new strategy this time. We're going to try to hover over the boss with the unique aspect I was talking about earlier with the quadrupeds. So as you can see, right over his attack, right to his weak spot.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now we still got to be careful because right there, that bleep is the eruption coming out. That means you got to be quick and you got to be ready to dodge. But we already stunned him. So I'm going to drop down and light him up.
I know this is a small thing to comment on.
The best tip I can give for the smart
Hang on.
cleaner is stay away. You need to stay away from him.
Their microphone's
his
picking
cleaves,
up
his sweeps are nasty.
the controller sounds. Sometimes I feel like I'm
We'll
too
see about
frantic
that,
with my
Carla.
controller, but it's
He's
nice to
getting
hear that other
absolutely
people are at least.
annihilated here with our brand new build. The stagger that we're pulling off on his weak spots are really good. But as you can see, that was close. You got to be careful, and actually we got to back up and conserve our energy because we're quite low at the bottom there. Ooh, wow! All right, he's getting angry.
So I
Trying
guess
to back
energy
up,
is in blue.
Reposition.
No, it looks like that's for hovering,
and hover
huh?
in the air, and then we're gonna try to float over to his weak spot again and light him up.
Or
There
maybe
we
it's
go.
the same.
Oh my goodness! Look at that damage. This is it. Just destroying in this run. And this goes to show, like, you know, different ACs can handle different situations.
I honestly feel like his
than,
failure the first time was intentional,
so
just
other
so he could
builds
show off that it's important to swap your build.
So the best advice I can give any Armored Core 6 players diving in is to try to adapt if you're having trouble. Also, we are having trouble. He is really angry. He does not want me to kill him. We're gonna float up and try to finish him here. Here we go. We got the stun. We're getting that direct hit damage. Oh,
Finisher?
I went for
No,
the
so
finisher.
close,
I'm
yeah.
doing it again. There we go.
Fucking
Perfect kick
awesome.
finish. I hope you guys enjoyed that gameplay. And we'll see you soon for some PvP action for World First.
That was awesome. That was cool. I like that.
Oh my gosh, Oroboros really got me on edge with that one, especially with the chip damage and everything. I was just, that was amazing. The efficiency was astronomical. I was just really impressed. I was taking notes actually during his whole fight, and I love that he actually changed up his build. And he's here right now. I love that. And you explained everything so well.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, we know that this is a philosophy of observe and learn. That's a common DNA of From Software games.
Yeah.
Is this true in Armored Core as well?
Oh, very much so. You know, it's a traditional FromSoft title. So, you know, as you can see, like he had the telegraphed attacks, and you have to remember.
I do see
dodge it, and
similarities.
you can very quickly learn to stay away from him because he does those big sweeps, you know, and they're super cool. But yeah, From Software are known for the difficulty, fair but punishing. That's the main thing.
And to me, I feel like that's super fun because you can just come in with different, you know, ACs and then figure out what works best for you.
Exactly.
And your tactics, right? And I love that you told all of us like what you were doing each time. So that's reassuring to hear. I noticed that the parts that you chose in assembly seem to play a specific role in the way you fight. Can you elaborate that? What should players keep in mind when customizing their Armored Core?
Okay, so the big thing about customizing like your Armored Core, again, is the legs that make a huge difference. As you can see, I switched to the quadrupeds there, and I had a much easier time with the boss. I see. You know, and that goes for all the customization in the game too. You know, you have to balance the equip load with your energy output, and you've really got
familiar with that.
You know, balances perfectly to make your mech like
to
as
the
good as
T
it
of
can
what
be.
you want it to be.
Super efficient, and that's
I feel
what I'm
like,
all about.
Yeah, and I see that because, you know, you switched out and you knew exactly what to do and you went in and you conquered.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like I should ask this because we're trying to learn here, and I'm sure people at home want to learn. What is your favorite build so far?
Ooh.
Yeah, like that.
That's a tough question.
Yeah, I know, but your favorite build. You
would assume it's what you started with.
So my favorite build personally is dual linear rifles.
Okay.
And I like to stay away from them and then switch to the blade when they're staggered.
Oh, man.
I pull out the blade on the back. The garage has like a offhand thing. It's really cool.
And I know that I was asking this, you know, to Cowboy. So what was your favorite legs? I keep on talking about the legs because that's very
important. But they keep on
It's
talking
very
about the
important.
legs.
Because the weight too.
Yes.
The weight too, right?
Exactly.
So you have to keep in mind of the weight and everything. So what was your favorite legs in the, you know, for AC units?
I like the classic bipedal. I always have, you know.
Okay.
Back in Armored Core 4, I was obsessed with bipedals, you know, just the normal ones, but they're still really cool, you know. For those players who like to move fast, there's no better option. And I like to be super quick, super nimble, super lightweight. That's my main play style.
I mean, you were pretty efficient.
Yeah.
You were pretty efficient. That was pretty fast. I mean, majority of the time when people are trying to figure out like what units or how to make it look, I think that a special thing in Armored Core 6 is that everyone can share their ACs.
Oh my gosh, that's the coolest feature ever.
Yeah.
So if I make an AC and let's say anyone wanted to copy the AC for that boss, you know, the quadruped that destroyed that boss, I could upload the code, I could give it to my friends, share it with anybody, and they can just buy the parts instantly if they have that part unlocked. It just works.
I love
It's
that
so
about
cool.
it. Because the thing is, like, I mean, back then you would just take a screenshot or something.
Yeah.
FromSoft has always done that well.
Now
Like the
it's,
online
showcasing
connectivity,
your
I've
build is,
noticed
like, the coolest
in
thing.
playing the
That's
games.
awesome.
Yeah. And I also like that you can add the decals and then colorization.
It's like a
and
singular
everything, too.
experience, but
Don't
you're
get me
able
started on
to.
the customization.
No, I want to.
That's my
Please
favorite
elaborate.
part.
Okay.
You and me
So-
both. That's all I want. That's
It's
all I
just
want.
so
I just
good.
want it
You
to
can-
look
you know,
badass.
It's a classic. You can pick any color, but you can
Right.
pick like any color on any color. Like the parts, each individual part has like I think 6 different colors
Please
to choose
do
from.
geek out on this because
Yeah.
I
my
totally
gosh.
love that.
You can change the materials. You
Uh-huh.
can make it like shine. You can have you can add patterns and stuff. You can make it like rusty and.
Am I
going
gonna spend time assembling my mech? No.
I'm so excited.
Am I gonna spend a lot of
customization.
time
It's
customizing my
awesome.
mech?
I have
Absolutely.
this idea because Armored Core obviously has model
I'm
kits.
joking.
I'm thinking
I'll assemble
I
it
can
properly.
make a model kit that's exactly like the one I have in game.
That would be so.
You know what I mean? I mean, you could do that too.
I could do that.
You
I
could
could
do that.
I would
but then
treasure that
you
forever.
might have like a bunch of ACs after this, right?
Yeah. Oh, I already have 5 ready to go for the PvP segment. I'm super excited to
Oh,
show
the
off to you guys.
PvP is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's ever really seen it yet. I mean, this is the
This is
worldwide
it.
debut. It's
I'm
going to be
so
crazy.
excited.
I mean, do you have any words for your competition right now?
Ooh.
Yeah, do you have any words?
It's a little unfair since Cowboy's not in the room with me.
It's
but,
not unfair. I mean,
good
it's
luck.
okay.
Good luck, Cowboy. That's what I have to say. Good
Oh,
luck.
well done. That was nice.
Well, I mean, is there anything else that you can tell the people at home that's watching right now about Armored Core? Like what you love most about this game in particular.
A lot of people are worried that this game is going to be too Souls-like, right?
I see.
That's a word that
Right.
goes around a lot.
Interesting.
And I can say that this is the Armored Core we know and love. This is Armored Core to a T. After
I'm
playing
surprised
it,
that that's the concern.
it's just perfect. It's exactly what we wanted for
Oh,
10 years of waiting, and they nailed it. It couldn't have been any better.
I
Wow,
mean,
okay.
just hearing that from you and
Yeah.
everyone here has blown me away because the last one I've played personally was 3. And then,
gosh, yeah.
that was a long time ago. And I really am excited because they do take some elements of older games and put it into this game,
Yes.
which I think is so awesome,
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, now that we have PvP and you can play with your friends, you already have a group of friends that you're going to bring onto your,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're
Okay.
getting the old clan back from 5 together again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you want to give a shout out to any of them?
Oh gosh. Yeah. Joker King and
Okay.
Luke. Those are my 2 like
Oh, man.
go-tos. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Now the other's
And
gonna be
Lightning
pissed
Count,
you
of
didn't say
course.
that.
Oh, that's
We'll go
awesome.
on all day. But yeah.
I'm really excited to join in with my community. I know that the community is really large. I mean, it was smaller and niche before, but then it's just going to get really big. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure you're
'Cause
excited
of
about that
Elden
too.
Ring?
Oh my gosh. This is Armored Core's moment. For years, and it's sort of
Yes.
been a little niche. But
Yeah.
I think now that FromSoft has gotten so huge after Elden Ring that it's finally going to see the light of day. I mean, this production value and everything here is just incredible.
I just
like
can't
I'm blown
wait.
away.
I
That's
mean,
so cute.
It's a dream come true
It
to
is.
many of us. We're so excited to be here. This
I'm
is
trying not to nerd
crazy.
out so hard.
No, please nerd out. Like
Oh, I love the
we're here
excitement
to
and
nerd out, right?
passion.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
I'm just excited because I'm hoping for more kits.
Oh my gosh.
Some more
yeah.
model kits or something. I mean,
Mm.
I do think. Whoa.
The collector's edition statue.
Oh, that one's really
Have you
nice.
seen that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I think that I do want to ask you: are there any tips and tricks for this game in particular that you can give
Oh, yeah.
everyone else that are new to this game?
Me.
So the main thing that I was sort of trying to go over in my gameplay segment is that change your mech, adapt
Yeah, okay.
I see.
to the situation. if something isn't taking a lot of damage from like a kinetic weapon, which are like the normal guns, try using a laser weapon. Maybe it's weak to laser energy damage. Just adapt to the situation.
Right.
Go into assembly, change out your parts, your legs, your weapons, your shoulders, anything, and just try stuff. Try stuff, and you'll be surprised how effective stuff can be.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like our segment is just us geeking out, and I love that.
Yeah, I know. It's been fun.
But, you know, thank you so much.
I know,
Awesome
obviously, this
gameplay,
game
and
is
good
not
luck
similar
with
to
the
a Souls
PvP
game,
later.
but I do see a
Thanks
lot
so
of
much for the insights.
similarities.
With all that information in mind, let's take a quick break before we come back to our awesome PvP segment. Yeah.
Okay, first time for anyone seeing this, let's go. Although I think I'm too chicken shit to do PvP. I've not yet done it in Elden Ring or
Welcome back,
Dark
everyone.
Souls.
Before we head into the frenzy of PvP, I would like to introduce you to Zealous from Armored Core Legacy, who will be our commentator today.
Fantastic to be here. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for being here. I'm so happy to see you. Zealous, oh my gosh. It is nice
I love
to see
his
you. It is
t-shirt. I
nice
love
to see
his
you.
look.
Behind the scenes, we have From Chang and Cleric playing PvP together. Zealous, can you tell us a little bit more about Armored Core Legacy?
Yeah, I'd love to speak to that here.
Yeah.
So the project came about a little over 10 years ago. This was during the Armored Core 5 Verdict Day era. During that time, and From Cheng came to a few members of the Midwest community, myself, Tierson, who can't be with us today, is other team member.
Right.
And also my friend Cleric, who's here today. He's going to be in for PvP, of course, PvP session.
He's
And the,
awesome. Yeah.
the idea that we had, you know, and that Cheng proposed to us was come up with a fan site to help support the Armored Core community from the grassroots and the very base and kind of build up the foundation. So as far as what we do, if it's Armored Core related, we loved it. We love to post it. It's been fun to have that torch burning during this period, during this 10 years, something way
It's a long time.
we've had going for it. So speaking of the legacy of Armored Core, there's a lot involved in that. It's not just the games, it's not just the classics, because Armored Core has ranged since PS1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. Obviously, we skipped the PS4 era, and we're in here to current. But we also chronicle the history of the competitive scene in the tournaments. A lot of you out there may not know it, but Armored Core had a very, very, very bright, vibrant tournament scene, PvP scene. In fact, driving across state lines, that was not a uncommon thing we did. I remember lugging the big CRTVs around, you know, like the PS2s and the memory cards and all
is so rich.
The whole deal. It's kind of like the start of the fighting game community. If anything,
right.
you know?
That it really did.
And
you know, it did inspire me hearing all of the story with you, especially with community.
Exactly. We had there was the Midwest scene, there was the West Coast, the California scene, which had the biggest, baddest tournament outside of Japan, Masters of California.
Wow.
We had an East Coast scene and also the Southern scene too. So there's so many events encapsulated in all that, and part of our goal too was to help capture that tournament history and to speak to it and everything. And you look
Beefy
at it too,
boy.
as far as the
good on
currency
him.
of the forums. Armored Core Universe, Raven Republic. There's so many forums in this ecosystem that really made up AAC. So our goal was to really try to speak to those things, try to just support from the background and do what we could.
That's amazing. Armored Core Legacy, I hope you guys last forever. And I hope that you
grow.
grow.
It's like a 3v3?
Especially now with this game coming out. We're so glad to have the veterans of the community here with us. That's important for this showcase. And with that, let's explain the format of what we will be seeing today.
Cowboy Hunter, that's
Armored
great.
Core 6, you can select from 1v1 or 3v3.
There you go.
3v3 is a test of endurance with teams earning points over a set time.
Today we will be watching a 3v3 with Oroboros and FightinCowboy as team captains.
Oh, that's quite nice that you can do it 3v3.
Each team captain is going to have a Bandai Namco team member as well as an Armored Core Legacy player supporting each captain.
Awesome.
Our Armored Core Legacy players from Chang will be joining Oroboros, and Cleric will be on Team FightinCowboy.
Right on. I'll tell you what, FightinCowboy and Ouroboros specifically, we got this kind of bloodbath going, between them.
I will say though,
Hold on.
it is very chaotic on screen right now with all the fire.
Actually, you know what?
But I mean,
do
it's
remember the
awesome.
story
It's
that
fun.
on social media that they were posting pictures
Yeah, you probably
online.
heard of some of this.
They're trolling back and
The
forth.
trash talk has already started, and this is great because this brings back memories of the tournament scene. We do this same thing. You start beforehand, you start during, it goes after. So I can't.
This PvP section.
This is the section.
This is what we're all waiting for.
Absolutely.
I was scouring the internet, and obviously we're doing this today, and I know that there's no PvP online.
Right.
This is the debut.
Exactly.
And I've been, I even watched the Japan one, and I was like, we're going to see some good stuff today.
That's the important thing here. We don't have anything canned. There's nothing pre-recorded here. Everything with PvP
Everything
today
is
going to be live.
How is he untouched?
I'm so
Right?
excited.
No one's done damage to him so far?
Oh, man. I know. Well, I mean, you're friends with,
Get
some
good.
of the team captains.
He is good. Oh, here we go. Now he's taking some hits.
Where things go. We'll see where it takes us. It's hard to pick favorites here,
Oh, man. I mean, for PvP in general, what is the most important thing when you're thinking about doing, like, playing with others?
I mean, it's
in Armored Core?
amazing. It
What
looks
is the
so
most
cool.
important thing that you would like to tell anyone if they're just starting out and they're playing with their friends?
Yeah, if you're playing with your friends and you're getting into versus, I'd encourage you, don't let nerves get to you about, I don't have, like, the meta build of the day, or I'm not using, like, the main, like, burn thing, or whatever flavor of the day it is. Get in, enjoy your designs. Maybe you ran something in the missions and PvE you'd like using. Get in and use that. If it doesn't work for you, look.
It's nice. What a lovely message. Also, it looks like each of your mechs will like respawn, reboot, respawn. So I think it's just like who can output the highest amount of damage during the, I think it was 5 minutes, however long that was.
Oh man, look at this.
Well, look at this. We got taking some footage here in the action, in the heat of things. FightingCowboy running this tank. He's been an absolute bruiser setting up here. Oroboros trying to get in play.
Dude in there.
He is a beefy dude.
He's a beefy boy.
Look at his tank.
Look at that. He wasn't joking when he was talking to me earlier. Yeah, look at that.
Going down, taking the first down. Now, I got to make it a really important note here. Something's happening here we didn't have in the previous Onboard games. There is a respawn system and there's a point system.
There you go.
That's happening at the top of the screen. Past AC games, if you were out, you were out. That was it. But not here. You get a timer, and
which is so nice. Genuinely so nice.
You're actually worth. We're actually zooming in, going to be looking at some of the strategies everybody's putting down. Oro going down after putting out the assault armor.
Frankly, it's one of the things that I really liked about Overwatch is the fact that you do like respawn continuously within a round.
He's stopping at the bed. He's ready to get back in.
He's thinking now. He's like, okay, you think you're playing. I'm not playing.
We're going to be zoning in the strategies that everybody's going to be putting forward and using here. Oro's getting right back in there with the assault boost. Really the new version of overboost. Those of you who played Armored Core 2 and beyond, you're going to remember where we were standing with that.
And all the parts that are moving right now, they're controlling every single piece of that.
Exactly. Now there is it's important to note, they're not using every single part that's available. There's a list, kind of a canned list of parts we can use today, because we can't use everything.
Oh, I see.
Interesting.
Everybody's putting these to max use as far as their builds. We got lightweights, heavyweights.
Which is kind of, I like that. They're still holding something back.
I definitely want to play to some of the granular things that are going to be happening here in Strat. You see that stagger bar building up. Oro's staggered.
You definitely want to build that stagger. And he
Damn, you definitely don't want to be staggered.
Look at
FightingCowboy's loving this. See, I told you, blood in the water. It's blood in the water.
Oh, there we go. They love each other. I'm sure they love each other, right? They love each other.
Some. There's a lot of love lost. A lot of it. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Got to speak to the gameplay loop that happens here. Again, setting up those stuns, you can't. Sometimes you're not always in a position to take advantage of them. But a good portion is to be ready. Make sure your weapons aren't overheat. Chain stun, get that boost kick in the blade, whatever you can to put your opponent down. And in the chaos of PvP here, sometimes you get ambushed, like FightingCowboy here.
This is
madness. Even if even if you got the awareness and wherewithal to really stay in this, you can still
I feel like, Oro is super focused right now.
He is.
He's like
out for blood.
He's like, I gotta get this guy. FightingCowboy. Okay.
Oro taking another down. We have the Alpha team up 1720-bit beta at 1824 here. There it is.
Man.
There it is. And FightingCowboy with the
wow, that was intense.
Vicious smile.
That was a crazy match. Like, that's our first PvP match. That's insane.
Man.
Oh, well, I mean, like, what do you have to say about that? Like, what did you notice about their gameplay and also their, ACs?
Tear them to filth.
Like, what do you have done differently?
Obviously, definitely.
A lot.
I always say, hindsight's 20/20, right? Or like,
yes.
Backseat piloting, as it were. But seriously, obviously, there's a real melee when it comes to PvP. That the chaos of the scene, dealing with things in the moment.
Right.
One thing I did see a lot of is there's a lot of team play. There's a lot of focused targeting. You notice when there was a stagger that happened on someone specific in the opposite team, everybody else would swarm around, really focus, zone in on them, and try to take full advantage of that. That's the key. As far as doing things different, it's difficult to discern that because it's something you have to think about in real time. You're listening to your team members. Those of you who play Armored Core 5 and Verdict Day, you'd be familiar with this. You're trying to coordinate with them. You don't want to be the guy to rush out too fast or get caught out. Maybe you're too far ahead of your
Communication
team.
is very important.
Or you might be hanging too far back and you're not giving them the kind of fire support they need. Hey,
I think that all these tips are going to be very critical for a lot of people playing, and this might be the first time that they're playing an Armored Core game. I mean, is there anything that you can possibly give to our viewers at home, like some tips, like as a new player?
Yeah. The biggest thing as a new player, get a control scheme that's comfortable to you. You'll notice when you guys come in, if you're setting up with gamepad, there's type A, B, and C for the control. You can really sit down. You can also make your own custom control layout. That's certainly what I've done. I have a variation of type A controls that I like to use.
I did that too, but you know, let's join our players because
here we are.
You know,
we're coming back into another match here.
Okay, that's nice. Get
Taking
another
a pan
match.
of our team. Fighting
Look how great they all look.
Everybody's got their emblems ready to
Look
go.
at that. That's
Cleric
beautiful.
by his side in the white Rubicon tank. And we've got Team Green Screen, the glitch in the Matrix here.
They all got it thought out.
I love the little team coordination. It's cute.
Here, ready
It's nice that they give him another crack at it as well. All right.
Alpha Beta, our second
I wonder if this is going to be like a best of 3. Yeah.
For AC6.
I still can't believe we're doing PvP today. This is insane.
This is.
I know that my community.
Okay, hear me out.
The Gundam fans, if you got anybody.
I wonder if they knew they were going to be playing on this map. If you're going to be playing on this map and you're doing the PvP,
and when you play, it feels.
I would probably choose better camouflage, like harder colors to pick out from the light brown, you know.
But taking advantage of the new feature of quads here. If you're a quad fanatic like myself, I love quad gameplay. Quads have become super aerial now. FightingCowboy just taking this position. The aerial assault, no, it's just raining down hell on everybody.
They're taking advantage of that 360 view. Like, look at that.
Absolutely. And then just reestablishing position as soon as he gets his energy set. Really taking a good job to manage his generator, his energy. Panning back into Oroboros, who is also running a quad, running dual back cannons instead of those dual rockets. He's got the dual laser cannons. Anybody remember in Armored Core 4? I'm thinking of the Sirius. So fantastic combo to set up the field. Huge damage. And speaking of huge damage, look at Cleric.
Cleric is popping off right now.
He is trying to use that barrier, using that
But
false
you always
barrier.
have to keep in mind of like how much you're using it. Oh, there it goes.
Dude,
Okay.
dude. And there goes Cleric going down. Oro taking a bit of a beating.
I will say one of the things I was a little nervous about finding out about the game, like when I first found out, was just having to manage the aerial combat, because I'm typically quite bad at that anytime I've played aerial FPS type characters. But he seems to be able to stay, like the mech seems to be able to stay in the air for quite a long time. It maybe won't be as hard to manage. It either won't be as hard to manage as it seems, or they're just doing an amazing job managing it. Or both, maybe.
Previous Armored Core games, it's kind of like that. You get core ability extensions you can make use of. Cowboy going down here.
It's a great animation being shot down from the sky, I will say.
Revenge, though. You know, there's revenge in this game. I'm sure.
Showing you that, you know, even quads going aerial, that does not make you invincible. Sometimes that can make you a sitting duck. Check this out. Whoa.
Everything moves so fast as well.
This is high flick,
so you got to be
high pace.
thinking fast as well.
You do. Not just with your own AC, lining up your own attacks, but also trying to coordinate the best you can.
With your team.
With your team.
I am
stunned here, going down on Cleric, and Cleric takes the down.
And once the game comes out, you already know. People
yeah.
are just taking advantage
yeah.
of all the, all the customizable pieces that they can do with their AC.
Oro taking his down after trying to reorient.
I think genuinely the PvP was a part of this showcase that ironically I was almost the least excited to see, just because I'm not typally like a PvP player. I know it's probably the thing that most people are excited to see because it's our first time seeing this. But I'm genuinely so impressed with the way it looks right now. This looks, I guess because of me personally, I'm more interested in like a team style combat. And the fact that you respawn, it's not just like a one and done type thing.
The whole time, so
I'm genuinely impressed. I think it looks actually really good.
Perfect villains are always smiling.
Aren't they though? I don't know.
When they're taking everyone down.
It'd be interesting to hear what you guys think, who are probably any of you watching this that are kind of more familiar with how this goes, all that stuff.
He likes his ACs, you know? He doesn't play around.
He does not.
No.
He is just getting some wonderful barrages in without these multi-lot missiles.
Look at this, the color scheme on his AC.
He's got the camo going.
It's not that camouflaging though.
Fantastic. Cowboy finally taking it down to the ground, going in with Assault Boost. Important note here, when you use Assault Boost / Overboost, we're actually encouraged to do that. You shave a little bit of damage you're taking yourself, but you also deal a little bit more damage as you're going into. So really getting in. Speaking of getting in to do
I saw that.
Fighting Cowboy, fight for his life here, popping that pulse, getting back in the air, getting a brand new stun off.
Whoa!
It's gotten personal now.
Whoa! What was that animation? That is awesome.
Right now. It's like,
But I would be
and Cowboy
tilted.
taking it down. I know.
You can't be disrespecting me like that.
Mad.
Yeah, you're beaming.
My God.
I literally, I can't breathe. This is it. This is, I already want to play.
It's high test. It's high test, but beta team still trying to swing back here at 10:44 over to Alpha teams.
Okay.
92. Where are we going from here? Oro with
Because
low
Alpha
AP,
won it last
15,
time, I
58.
think.
He's gonna do what he can with this last bit of AP. We got 15 seconds in the round. Let's see what happens with this hustle. Oro going down. Obviously, his core expansion being used. The rest of his team trying to pull together here. This 5 seconds, last 5 seconds.
Let's go.
That countdown, and it is over. Finished.
Oh.
We have Alpha team up 1958.
No more gumbo.
There it is. And Fighting
Dude, your
Cowboy just
missile
taking
was
some
so
time to
constant,
relish
you
this.
Oh no, they had won
Relishing
both
this.
times, I
Kill.
think.
That was amazing. How did you guys think about that at home? I mean, that PvP was so crazy. It was so good.
If that doesn't get you guys hyped, I'm not sure what does. I mean, it is
our world premiere.
And this has come so far from, I mean, the PvP of like Last Raven or some of the older PS2 games. What we're able to do here now and seeing the team combat, unreal.
It's fast, and it in turn is also weighty.
Right.
You can feel everything that you're putting
oddly
onto
enough,
your unit,
most
and
excited
you know
for
that
that.
it's doing some damage.
Right.
You know, and you're thinking for the moment when you're using everything. Not one button is not used in this game.
Exactly. Everything is getting utilized. So the best part, there's a bit of a love letter here. There's something for all of you out there, despite where you come from with Armored Core. Those of you who loved Armored Core 4 and 4 Answer, you're probably loving the assault armor that was happening going off there. You'll remember Kojima Particles chorus, detonating your PA shield. Just the difference this time is you don't turn your own self. You don't turn your defenses into paper
I love
mache,
his
and you let
outfit. I
off
know
that,
it's not the point, but
assault burst. So it's a really good tool. It can be used defensively, can be used defensively. I think we saw everybody here really putting those tactics into high play today.
So what are the things that, you know, that they're bringing back into this game? I've heard it time and time again from hardcore Armored Core players. What are the things that you noticed? I know Vaati mentioned some things too.
Yeah, he pointed to a few things. I'm going to be talking a lot more to combat because I'm still juiced from
Yeah,
that PvP.
for
It's
sure.
just totally insane.
Yes.
One thing that you guys saw put in play is the kick. After like people were doing the assault boost to run in, get in close and do the boost kick. That comes straight from Armored Core 5. Everyone loved the idea of this very kinetic, visceral idea of just ramming your AC straight into another.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Now we can still
It's fucking
do that
badass.
here. The boost kick coming back from AC5. I was just talking about assault armor. That's coming back from AC4. So that's AC4 Answer. You've got assault boost, aka overboost. That's back from Armored Core 2. You even got part dropping back from Armored Core 3. It's really all over the series.
Oh man.
Unbelievable. And we've got our third round of
Let's
PvP
go.
setting up. Let's zone in here. Squad Alpha.
I think Oroboros is gonna. He looks like he's ready to take this one.
He is. Look. Boro's got something to prove here. And
Yeah, he does.
He's not leaving. Look at the Gatling gun layout.
I know he's
here.
not. He means business.
Are they all
We've got
stacked
an
up like
entire
that?
team of
Jesus,
tanks rolling
yes.
dual Gatling guns. Listen, if you guys love the MG 1000 the old Armored Core games, check this out. This new MG is an absolute stagger machine.
Wow, they're all rolling out like that. It is
And not
such
just the
this.
Gatling
It
guns,
feels
we
like
got
it would be
dual grenade
such good
launchers
fun to
rolling all over the
coordinate with
place.
your team like this.
These
You
grenade
know.
launchers are a callback to the GLL. Those of you who played Armored Core Nexus era, the light grenade launcher, but it still means business. It shoots three grenades each volley. So if you can home in on somebody, you can get 6
Still
grenades
gets
off,
pretty good
causing
like upward
insane
mobility
stun.
on the
And
tank.
we're gonna see what can happen coming from Oro here,
And look at them utilizing the whole map here.
taking advantage of
Wow, I'm actually genuinely
tanks.
surprised.
And Oro snapping off those grenade shots, recentering himself, using that quick boost very, very well, but taking a ton of damage and punishment himself, going down.
Sometimes you can
this
go
first round.
overboard with that
You
too.
can overcommit. You can
Right.
overcommit. Too easy to do. Too easy to do. And I understand it in the whole melee.
Especially when you're in it, I've noticed that I've done that too. But there's always be mindful of everything that you're doing, even when you're like. In
Don't
the middle of multi-select.
overcommit.
both team captains.
The one
taking
lesson
the
that
air
I
too,
will
but neither
probably
are
never
deterred.
learn,
We got FightinCowboy
but
heading
desperately
right
need
back
to
in
learn.
with the overboost. He's honing right in. Stuck in an obstacle there, but he still gets over it, and he's right back into the melee. Check it out.
That was an 80 AP.
It looks like rolling the shotgun.
I think one of the things that I'm
really just staying
enjoying about watching the PvP is that for the most part, it doesn't seem like there's just one mech or one build that's going to completely dominate. I know that there's probably going to be a meta that exists, because gaming, there's always a meta that exists, but I guess I don't know if it's more important to kind of adjust based off of the map that you're playing on. Like, for example, this map has a lot of verticality that I think the other maps didn't, which is I wonder if that's why FightinCowboy chose a mech that
We don't
good.
have that here. Maps where you have covered, make use of that. Those of you who are fast, if you're maneuverable, break locks as much as you possibly can.
So break
Another
locks.
assault armor, yeah.
He's having so much
anybody worried
fun,
about
bless
auto-tracking too
him.
much, I can't get away from my opponent. If you're moving fast enough, you can still get out of that lock reticle, save yourself some trouble, get out of that train wreck, leave yourself for another day.
Oh man.
Oro getting a rare respite, a breather.
Right. I'm
A
like, what is
breather.
he doing over
Yeah.
here? He's just relaxing.
Sometimes you
He's
get
just
a
coasting.
little time to coast, reorient. Sometimes you got an opening. If you down enough enemies, you can kind of
Oh.
recenter, recoordinate with your team, bring things back together, tighten back up, and that's what we're going to need right here as Oro and gang start to get flanked. But turning that right around, turning the tables, using that 360 turn on tanks. Tell you what, I got to say this about tanks. Anybody at home watching this, a big weakness of tanks in the past. People try to use their blind spots, but notice you can spin at the torso with tanks now, and it's not as much of an issue. And another down. We're looking at FightinCowboy with low AP,
I'm
but just
loving to
not
see
giving
like
up
how
here.
everyone's playstyle is so
Yeah,
different.
sorry, I was trying to
But
upgrade the quality, but
different. We have some running support a little more.
Right.
Others who are right in, like
Ooh.
FightinCowboy,
Rough.
taking us down, but
Rough.
still dishing out as much damage as he's taking. Just tenacious.
They're getting major air in here.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just raining down on them. You know?
These dual Gatlings, and by the way, the sound design, the audio is absolutely gross. It's amazing. The sound of dual miniguns going off with the casings raining, there's nothing like it.
You're pretty much like getting a vision. Everything is visually beautiful in this game. You know, you always wonder, how is it going to look? Well, we see right here, this is what you're going to get.
Oh, we've got
But better
pinning,
quality.
Oro just circling,
not as many
circling, and then the
pixels,
full down.
or rather not as
total AP
few
bar just
pixels.
stripped there. Now, one thing too, which ideally
You'll get more pixels.
Grenade launchers,
right?
Kind of like back in AC4, if you can hit splash damage, that counts for a lot. You don't have to hit an opponent bang on with those grenades. So sometimes taking to the air, not getting that bang on hit, or like here with Oro taking advantage of the stun, that might be your best play. And we've got a back-to-back stun. Back-to-back stun.
Look at all of them come together. This is
Trying to-
amazing.
Claire trying to get out of this, making use of his pulse shields, but I don't know how much longer he can hold on here. Turn around and focus on Oro. Oh, well, good timing because his teammates got pulled off from the action a little bit.
And the thing is, like, look how they're sticking together too. They're
Still a
trying to
tight
stick in tight.
formation, still a tight formation. It's easy to get caught all the way across the map in cases like this, but everybody is staying just succinct, precise.
We've got 30 seconds to go. I mean, it could be anyone right
You're
now.
zoning down. Team Alpha is up 18 to 20. I heard Team Beta's 13-72. If Alpha just holds on to this with just no huge mistakes, no huge downs, we should be sailing. 15:04.
If Alpha holds on to
We got
this.
15 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
So you want to have the lower
It is
points?
real close right now.
Oro making
pull all those
his
stops.
push to make a press here. What can we make happen? Oh, and there it is. Team Beta with that swing.
Yeah.
17-47.
Yeah. Team Beta
Oro
won. Yeah,
is
yeah.
loving
Look at
this.
Oro. I had a feeling Oro was like, hey,
He's loving
it's
this.
my time right now. Look at him.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him with a smile.
He's beaming.
He's like, I got
Bless
this.
him.
I know I got this.
And having a chance to go behind the scenes a bit. I know Oro does a lot to juice up his team. He does a lot
Right.
to try to bring Cheng and everybody in, really getting them into that process.
Oh,
getting
interesting.
them in.
That's important
It
too.
is. You got to get them.
Yeah.
You got to get your team as vicious as you are to get in this. So it looks like we're taking a sec to change schematics. We're going through designs.
This is
here.
great.
Yeah, this guy gives everybody a look at what that schematic loadout looks
And these
like.
are the loadouts that he already had ready.
Yeah, so this is the good thing here.
Current
you don't have to actually spend
EN
time
load.
going through
What
the
is
garage,
current EN
change,
load?
cycle
Does
through
anyone
each
know?
individual part. If you want to go do just load up your design. Again, another feature that became popular as of Armored Core 4,
Right.
coming back, revisiting us here in Armored Core 6.
Amazing. I love hearing about the history that you know. And this
so
is great.
fun.
This is amazing to have all of this together.
It's incredible. It's an incredible love letter. My favorite Armored Core game before this was Last Raven, my #1. But I'll tell you what, this is already taken its place.
See?
And I'm stoked. I'm stoked. It's crazy to say that.
That's
I'm loving hearing from him. He's obviously
As a
so
person that only
passionate
played
about the
one of
franchise.
games in the series. That to me, we played the same time.
Right.
When we had the kind of tested out and everything, and I was like, I wonder how everyone else feels about this game. But we're so busy each playing.
I know.
So.
And it's kind of zoned in here.
Oh.
So FightinCowboy's got to be feeling the heat a bit, but nonetheless.
I think he likes the heat.
I think he likes it. I think he's in his element here.
Yeah.
You see him. He's still collected, still calm, getting things together with this team. And speaking of,
every time they change everything, that looks beautiful.
Here we go. We've got a heavily armed quad cowboy there. We got a dual plasma rifles rolling in that reverse joint. Look out for that. I'm going to be talking to that explosive damage.
I can't wait to see
here.
what he does with that.
Bear in mind, anybody who remembers, again, 5 in Verdict Day, we have 3 different types of damage happening. In AC5BD, we had CEKE and TE damage.
That is beautiful.
We got explosive. We got energy.
They look like claws.
Yeah, don't they though? They
look like clips.
I love the counterweight. It's kind of got an alien design, a look to it. Again, going to work with the plasma rifles right away. This is one of the variable charge weapons. You can
I don't think we've seen any plasma weapons yet.
If you want to hold down your triggers, you can charge them up. You'll get a triple explosive burst from each plasma rifle. We might see those used.
He's moving so agile.
But look at this. Look at this.
This looks like the lightest build they've had so far. It seems like the lightest build so far.
Are that you don't have to be bang on with every shot. Sometimes that shit damage you can add up is just destructive. And the best part, he's got those explosive missiles on the back too, just to set up to really stagger blind, keep opponents off balance.
It's just moving so.
Again, this is something that I said earlier, like way earlier on in the showcase, I think. But one of the things I am genuinely impressed about, the color of the mechs aside, because they've been customized, I am genuinely impressed with how colorful the game is, given it's set in your like typical dystopian type world. It is still, like I said, you've got that visual contrast, which is nice. It's like very pleasing to look at, because the mech design is so smooth, and because the world design, the environmental design is so great, and then having those moments of like color where it makes sense, you know.
Putting the same energy to play in PvP. Oro getting a full snap of grenades off. Fantastic.
It's popping off. I already knew it. I knew that he had it in him, and he's letting loose right now.
There's a lot of us out there that call the grenade launcher the problem solver, formerly known as the GNL-15, but again, the GLL here, just fantastic work. I love it. I love it. One of my favorite weapons. Oh man, Oro caught in a little bit of stunnage here coming from the plasma rifles on the other side, but he still gets out of it. Low in energy, it's easy to overextend your generator cap here, but notice once you hit the ground, the energy fills back up so much faster. So you gotta take
which makes sense.
Cowboy.
Cowboy.
Trying to take advantage
of
rough.
And the other mech.
So he's okay.
He's all right.
He's gonna get back
from the
up.
bleachers.
Right, again, but things are still fairly even here at the takedowns. We got Team Alpha at 461 and Beta at 216.
But we still have an ample amount of time. It's 240?
240.
Seems like a much lower damage round.
We were talking about what should time limits be before we were setting up for this, and I think 5 minutes is just right.
Yes.
Get you really immersed, get into that chaos, and get into that havoc. This is just beautiful. Again, Cowboy, there's the triple shot, the charged up plasma, followed by the triple missiles and the kick. Those are the kind of combos that we're talking about that need to happen.
Beautiful.
Beautiful work by Cowboy.
But
he pays for it. I think Oro's team is getting wise to his game.
I think I also did notice above the time it said like AP at 30%, so it seems that there are like multiple visual. Yeah, AP at 50. So there are multiple visual warnings that your health is low, even if you're not keeping an eye on your health bar down in the bottom left, which is nice. I like that.
Down to 1029 AP. Again, the longer you can keep yourself alive, the more of a target you make yourself because you stack up more points, the more points you're worth.
And I wonder, like, if they're switching up the play style often, if their teammates are catching up too.
Right.
You know? And that's...
Anybody out there worried about ammo count? You'll notice in the bottom right portion of the screen, ammo seems a lot more generous here in AC6 than we've had it in previous games. And I think no one's really had an issue with that lately. They had to drop parts. Just look at Cowboy here. I mean, I'm sure he's freshly spawned, but he has got plenty more where that came from. He is not afraid to show that kind of distinction here.
He's pretty aggressive too, the way he fights. He's very aggressive.
There is no stop. Getting out of dodge, getting himself clear, but trying to stay in that counteroffensive as he falls back.
I feel like also making sure your meter is not like over.
I'm honestly surprised they're showing as much of the PvP as they are. So I think this is our 5th round of it.
We're in a bit of a...
Which is good. I mean, it's generous. I'm just surprised.
Things are really crazy right now. But these tanks you see around the arena, it's an example of some of this coverage.
They're showing so much of it, and yet they're not showing all of like the weapons and all that stuff, which is, again, I like it. You obviously get a really clear sense of what's going on, but there's still enough that's left to surprise.
This is just all-out attack.
FightingCowboy digging in with another boost kick after he drops a whole.
It feels like he's already like knowing all of his moves, Oro's moves.
He is trying to pick them just a bit ahead of time. We're down to the last 20 seconds. Team Alpha's got the lead right now with 10:74.
Damn.
Can they hold on?
Poor Team Beta. I mean, Alpha's running away with it.
682 with Oroboros. Fresh off the spawn. 5 seconds. What do we make happen? We're going off, but it is not enough. And there's the finish. Team Alpha.
Wow.
Oh, bless.
Game. And of course, FightingCowboy clearly with that look of saying, this is how it should be. This is how it was meant.
I mean, they ran away with that.
All of that PvP is insane. I'm sure that everyone at home, how do you guys feel about that? We're going crazy inside right now.
That is wild.
Oh, man. What do you think about like how your teammates are feeling right now watching this?
It's got to be pulse pounding stuff, you know. I mean, look, the broader community watching this too. I mean, I'm sitting here going crazy just seeing it on screen.
I hope that the fans,
like, I hope you're digging this as much as we are. It's
fans of the franchise really enjoy this. I hope so.
Super smooth. I know one of the biggest questions has been, what's PvP going to be like? And the last thing people wanted was just only a look at that with canned footage. But here we had several matches live. We had the team play happening. We had several different builds used, and you guys got to see everything. The tanks, reverse joids, quads, bypass, the whole deal's in play.
I'm loving this right now.
It is amazing. It's so, yeah.
I can't, my face hurts.
It's such a good person to bring on.
I love it. The thing is, you know, our players are some of the best.
They are.
You know, they are some of the best. And I think that seeing the community get larger from this, I can't wait to see what we're going to be, you know, what's going to be showcased in the future.
Now, I'll tell you what I've loved to see, just the adaptation, especially in the part of FightingCowboy and Oro. They played so many from games.
Right.
You know, and their content, if you guys have ever checked it out and know anything about it, you know, just adapting all those scenes. But coming here to Armored Core and really just digging in just with both hands here and just coming up with the strats on the fly, just the builds. It's just been awesome to see how they'd adapt to just the early week one stuff, you know.
And I think that like even new fans, there's a lot of new fans in my community that are really excited about this game because they like that weightiness. And I keep on mentioning that, but then when you're
it's nice to see the vets excited to have new people come on board, you know?
Right.
It does. It does. There's nothing really like Zone of the Enders quite like about it. You know, there's a real weight, a heft to your ACs.
Yes.
And the cool part about that is you feel that in the verticality. You really have to push your boosters to ascend when you're rising up. You really feel it when you're doing the quick turn motions and everything like that. So it's you put so much of your own personal flavor behind it too, which is nice. Unbelievably
Each
high.
piece on the AC is your personality and how you play.
Exactly.
It's very personal,
exactly.
which I think is the most beautiful part about Armored Core games.
Down to the emblem, down to the paint job, every single part of it. So if you guys
that customization,
as eager as we are to dig into this, hey, you got a home waiting for you in PvP. Get in there and enjoy it.
I mean, we're watching PvP live. And I can't wait to talk to the players because
same. I know we gotta hear their thoughts. I want to hear in this blood riot.
They were
too,
like I said, they were trolling each other on Twitter earlier,
the whole time.
or not Twitter, sorry, X.
The site formerly known as
Twitter.
Twitter.
Know what? Anyway, so let's join our players to get their thoughts on the match.
Let's dive in.
Even though I refuse to update my logo.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hey, we're doing great.
What could be better? Yeah.
I'm really curious to hear.
Is there anything better?
Oh, what was that?
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay, awesome. Amazing job, everyone. We thought you killed it out there.
Absolutely, guys.
We're really curious to hear your different perspectives of the game.
Go ahead.
Super fun. Yeah. I love the PvP. It's awesome.
So I think the big thing people need to keep in mind here is tank goes boom.
Yes.
And
it does.
And Team Beefy Boys are clearly the champion of this event. With a was that 3-1?
Yeah, I think it was 3-1. Sounds right. Yeah, sounds right.
Brutal.
3-1. Yeah.
And they had to try and meme to win. Oh, it's embarrassing.
Okay. No, that was a good fight, Cowboy. That was
No,
good shooting.
honestly, yeah, it was good. No, honestly, it feels amazing. Just when you think you have a beat on somebody, next thing you know, you're getting stunned from behind, and you have to change angles, and then the dynamic of having to go for the guy worth extra points. Yeah, it's
that's going to be
fight is
important.
Yeah, that doesn't even come close to describing how it feels to actually play it.
The 3v3 is absolute chaos, and I loved it. It was good, right?
Yeah.
Like, we were calling out, screaming to each other in the room, like trying to focus different players. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
Yeah, we were calling out targets, 0-1, 0-3, 0-2.
Yeah, Cowboy, I think I heard you from over in the room, dude. Yeah, it was so
Giving
loud.
away.
Absolutely awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, it's looking like we might have a little bit of room for redemption, a little time to throw things back in.
Oh,
yes.
What would you guys say for another shot to keep this whole blood feud going? You want to let Cowboys team run away with this Oro chain? You guys got something to say about it?
What do you think?
Yeah,
Oroboros?
because I'm feeling this rivalry
Hey.
a lot more. It's getting thick.
Yeehaw, partner, let's go.
Yeah, we're having a salty run back here.
We're
all for the salty run
We're
back.
gonna run
Let's
this
do it.
back.
Okay.
We're gonna run
Let's
this
do it.
back.
Okay.
We got the
I'm
time.
ready.
We're willing. We got the team here. Let's run it back. Get ready for another best of 5. Let's hear it, guys. Get hype in the house. Team Oroboros, Team FightinCowboy, back in the mix. Let's settle this. Awesome.
Oh man. I mean, I can't believe that we're doing another PvP match.
I know. I'm so glad there's time for it. We'd only initially planned maybe just to have that one segment, but you see here.
This is why I like live broadcasts, because we can think of these things on the fly.
This is the best. This is the best.
Best
like,
of
we're
5?
really
Are
gonna
they
do
doing
another
5
PvP
more?
match?
Oh, no.
I
Okay.
can handle it,
I'm
but
all
there's gonna be.
about it.
I was about to be
I
like,
think
oh
that
my
he's
god,
getting
they're going to
really
play
heated,
through
though.
5
His blood's
matches.
boiling.
I
I
see,
can
they're
tell
going to do one more
Oro's like,
match.
Oh, he is.
Let's go.
Which is
Oro's
good.
not
It should be
willing to
best
let
of
this
5.
game,
You don't
but,
want to do.
Cowboy, just kind of pushing him off.
Well, I
Say,
guess
hey, man, you can
it's already
try. You can try,
3-1.
but I can't guarantee any results. We're gonna see what happens with this next set of 5 and see if there could be any kind of redemption here.
I'm very curious about their, rivalry. Actually, I'm probably gonna look it up later.
Look into it. Kind of dig into things. But
Next set of
the whole
5?
day in the studio and beforehand, we've been hearing the trash talk between them. I love it. I
I
love
didn't
it.
get to hear it.
I love it.
But then I'm
Surely
hearing
it's
it
just
now,
one more
and
match.
It's amazing.
Now you see it live.
Yeah, and now I'm hoping that after the game releases, I'm
Right.
excited to see them play again.
Oh, well, everybody will be back in. Hopefully we get a chance to
Yeah.
mix it up with everybody and jump in.
And I hope I can
can't
play
wait.
with you too.
Oh,
that would
same
be
here,
really
same
awesome.
here, same here,
I
same
would
here.
love to team
Oh,
up
so
because
cute.
now that the community is getting bigger, I want to join in on the fun
no,
too.
You should. This is
Yeah.
the time for it, and especially anybody who's really enjoyed the whole complement of From games. Again, there's so many potential new fans, and you guys really got the opportunity to help push this well into the future. So hey, I encourage you guys, hop in, join in PvP.
I
Of
like
course,
that.
This is just proof, stone cold copy proof that beating the game isn't the end. Getting the multiple endings, whatever parts you find, that's just the start.
Yeah.
You get in here in PvP, and that's where you apply everything you found.
And the customization is the thing that I think is the best thing that I can visually see, because I'm a nut for that.
Yes.
Just customizing to the T of how I want
Exactly.
my
And
armored core to be.
the best part, even if you've done your homework on the parts, let's say you've gotten the internals, the generator, the fire
Right.
control system, you got everything you want, you think you got a weapon loadout you want, then things come to the paint scheme and the emblem editor. Anybody who likes spending time in that, look, like the emblem editor is the most robust it's ever been in this
It's
version of
literally
AC. So, I mean,
all
if
I
you like to
want.
spend hours just popping down emblems, place stuff all over your AC, you've got a chance to.
Oh yeah, and we're back on another PvP match.
Throwing things back.
Yes.
Continuing on with Squad Alpha, that is FightinCowboy's team. Eric, ready and gang, ready to go here against Oro.
Who
and
is
From
singing?
Chain. Looking for some redemption here and looking at a chance to get back with John.
I love their
Rubicon
color
assisting.
scheme.
Still trying to break the game with that Matrix glitch look. You think they're trying to use the green screen? I don't know.
Ooh.
Something to lose.
Look at this paint job.
Right to the races and a brand new
I
map
love
here.
watching their tactics here. Let's see.
So
Let's see.
here, this is going to be really interesting.
I like that
There's
Fighting
a lot
Cowboy's been
less
changing
cover.
out
Anybody
his
familiar with
skin.
Classic Armored Core. This is a lot like the old school arena map. A nice big open area, no huge amounts of cover to worry about. Really here, you can't depend on the value of a lot of cover. You really just got to be aware, both aerial and on ground. Speaking of which, here we go with Cowboy again using these grenades. Already low on AP, but just totally shrugging off what's happening behind him. He wants this quad.
He's very aggressive. He's one of the most aggressive players that I've
Which
seen
I love.
so
I can
far.
respect that.
I love
Cowboy
aggressive,
just
yeah,
not
play
deterred,
style.
Not deterred. He zones in on his target. He wants to get that job done. My God, he tries to make it happen. Oro on the way here. Also, refresh on himself.
This
He's
feels
jumping
like
right
one
in
of
them
the.
things.
Do they play that? They may have played
the
this map
blade.
already
Back
at the
now. Should he not do
beginning.
the double hit?
It feels.
Zone in one more time.
It may not be the biggest. Yeah, I think this is the
And
map
is
they played at the
instead gonna
beginning.
just choose
But
to
it's
pop a little
definitely,
bit.
you've got
There's
no
the blade combo
cover.
from
There's no
Oro.
verticality, so it feels like the biggest, I think, just because it's so open.
Price for that
Rough.
overcommitment. Man,
And it's punishing too.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
It is very.
Especially if you get a little greedy, you know, they're punishing these players as well.
I can
See, now this might be a stupid question.
As far as where the punishment
I
comes
think
from
it
as far
looked.
as getting this done.
If I'm
Because,
understanding
again,
correctly,
like
we've
I was
only
saying
seen the
earlier, you can't-
plasma
you're not
weapon
always in a
one
good position
time,
to take advantage of that stun,
Right.
you know, and the people
and I
that
don't
can
know
seize it.
why.
Man.
Or is some of these because I. Maybe some of these
I
blue
just love
attacks are
watching
also
the team
plasma,
action.
but
I
I
think
didn't think
that's
that was the
super-
case.
It is.
Again, I've still got a lot to learn. I'm new to
Cowboy
this.
getting hit
Trying
by
to team up.
a blade from the flank, but no one really had enough to follow up on it. And that was a perfect example.
Right,
He might have had the
exactly.
stun, but it didn't end him.
Exactly.
And check it out. Team Alpha is all over this again. It's 854 to Beta's 108. I'm trying to get a takedown on Cowboy here to hopefully stack up some
Oh,
points.
poor Beta. I
things up.
feel awful. They should have just
However,
ended it. You shouldn't have done another
This goes to
round.
show, even with a ton of armor, you can make a tank just bleed AP. Well, it's already down in thousands here.
Oh,
Look at this.
got him.
You can go down before Fighting Cowboy does. Another stun and pop in the shield for pulse fences. And there goes Cowboy.
It is such a cool animation when it falls from the sky like that. It feels weighty
I
still,
love this
you
how
know.
we keep the focus over on the team captains.
Right.
And Oro staying collected. Alpha's up 983 to Team Beta's 465, but still we have 2 minutes 17 left.
I feel like when with those kind of legs, they're very agile.
They are.
Oh, that was a cool slashing animation.
Just from my time with
Yeah,
the game, they
super
feel a
cool.
little quicker than they
Right.
did in the past.
I was wondering about that because it looks like it's quicker too.
Now, in previous ACs, of course, there was like a lightweight reverse joints, heavyweight versions, and you've got different weight classes, of the types of legs here.
Right.
We see that assault armor going off, and look at this punishment.
That is punishment.
Everybody.
I felt that.
Yeah.
I felt that. Whoa.
Typically, when I'm getting into new games, I want to kind of be surprised when I start to play, so I try not to watch too much about the game so that I'm not, I don't know, being overhyped or spoiling too much. But this is one of those games I was feeling quite intimidated. I'm excited about it, but I was kind of intimidated to enter as a newbie as it felt like there was a lot going on. So I'm genuinely so thrilled that there is as much PvP footage or as much gameplay footage as they're showing. It's getting me more familiar with the layout of things, how things work, which I think will be very beneficial when I do go into my first playthrough, which I will be doing.
One of the favorite things, we're seeing quads and tanks and plenty. I'm loving this.
It is beautiful. I mean, this whole gameplay is unreal. It does not look.
Doesn't do it justice.
It's just gorgeous.
Oro was talking about this earlier about how important your leg choice is. And I got to point to this. Everybody's using some very destructive weaponry right now. Quads and tanks are perfect for that. Leg types that give you a little bit less recoil in those very, very, very heavy.
Yeah, I love hearing
heavy-handed
about
items.
that because it's very important to this game.
It is. It is critical. Mission critical. Got another stun set happening here. Fighting Cowboy's got to be happy about that. Taking a command in
I think Fighting Cowboy's just happy in general.
I think just in general here, he is loving this. Team Alpha up 1884 to Beta 791.
Even when he's down, he's like, you know what? I don't really care because
the man just doesn't care.
He's having fun.
I mean, his team is up
Especially with team
over
battle.
1,000.
Especially
I
if
feel
you're,
bad.
the
I feel really
team leader.
bad.
You can't be showing any signs of weakness. No.
Oh,
Oh, 5
getting
seconds.
that last down before he goes down in
Oh.
5 seconds. That would be enough time to swing things. The finish.
Oh, bless.
Oro taking this to heart. The first of this run back best of 5 series going over to FightinCowboy.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt that one. I felt that one.
Did you saw it in Oro's eyes? He's just.
Oh, don't make it worse.
And especially since you've been such a fan for so long. I mean, looking at this PvP, how does it affect you right now? I'm sure it's like crazy.
Oh man, look, I'm almost like to drop everything right now and run back there myself.
Play it yourself, yeah, bless.
I'm kind of dying to.
The
Maybe there'll be time after.
PvP in this game is unreal. I mean, we're
so
seeing
fun.
it for the first time too,
Right,
like live.
right.
Them playing together. This is intense, and it's going to be intense all the way through.
Right.
While you're playing this game.
There's some important context here. You know, I think it was Cowboy was commenting before we came in. He played the role of comms, like a team coordinator back during Armored Core 5/Verdict Day.
Right.
And there was a position in the team where you could help coordinate everybody, bring your team together, kind of direct them where to go. So to see him kind of taking that knowledge and just getting right in here as a team captain, actually applying that to gameplay, visceral stuff.
IGL, let's go.
Killing it.
I mean, especially for me, I would say like the PvP aspect is what's going to drive me to play the game.
Right.
I think that's.
I like hearing that. I love the way you think. Absolutely. That's what drove me to play so long ago when I first stumbled on. It's like an old Yahoo group.
Oh,
for,
great.
Armored Core, and that led to the whole PHBB forums.
I love this history that you're telling us.
It was that need for PvP. I was shocked to even find out there was a scene. I know the closest one I had to me was in the Midwest. Armored Core Midwest Mayhem was held in Janesville, Wisconsin. I was in Illinois at the time, went over state lines to attend, and the rest was history. I could not believe that there was an Armored Core tournament to go attend. So it's. Hey.
I've never been to one. I hope that you guys like pop up one some other time. You know, I would be down to go.
We've talked about LAN events as far as just hosting them and doing them. With the advent of the online era, there hasn't been as much of a need. Obviously, people being able to play from home and everything. And of course, you guys out there are going to have brand new, plenty of chance to play with AC6.
All right, we're back in it.
But we're getting back. Here we go. This run back best of 5.
Unfortunately, I had no idea this showcase was going to be as long as it is. I'm having to cut it short. Unfortunately. But look, I'm so excited for the game. I'm really glad that I could sink my teeth into watching some of this stuff, get a sense of what was going on. Because like at first, it can be really intimidating, right? There's a lot going on, but I felt quite confident that because of the success of Elden Ring, they were going to be not shifting away from the DNA of Armored Core, but I would think that they kind of would be cognizant of the fact that there might be more eyeballs on this game than there would have ordinarily been. And it does seem like whilst it could potentially be overwhelming, there are like opportunities to kind of make it a bit easier to go in if you are a first-time player. So I'm super excited for my first playthrough. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching this showcase, you've enjoyed sort of hearing some of my reactions, things that I'm interested in. If you did enjoy this, it would mean the world to me if you give the video a like. I want you guys to tell me what you think. What are you most excited for? If you've played the series before, what are you hoping to see? And then, like I've said a handful of times, I will be playing this game. It will be my first time playing any Armored Core game. So if you're interested in seeing my playthrough, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It would mean the world to me. Also, I will be live streaming this on Twitch. So if you want to come join in live, I would love to have you there live. So thank you so much for sharing your time with me.